Okay, right here. Okay, we have a lift board. Okay, when you push on it, it comes down. It's a good trip hazard. And over here, there's a square in a board. Luckily, it's only in one board, so that basically that whole board or that section of the board can be replaced. Now, something I want to show you too is somebody did some repairs or did something here before we bought the house. There's a part that's covering one span of the beams underneath. So we're going to do the same thing here for this, because we're probably going to only cut back to right here, and we might cut back to the next one depending how long of a board we have to work with. Now, another thing is we have holes over here. Might not touch those yet, and that's actually intruding on two boards right there. Okay, and then we have another one right there. I think these were for the drains, and these are vents that I put in basically to spray for bugs underneath and actually vent out the bottom, because in between all these boards get filled up with leaves and stuff, and there's no ventilation, no movement of air. So that's an idea that I did. It's up to you if you want to do that. But let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how to actually salvage the old wood, like on that ramp that's way back there. Probably not going to keep that. It was to the shed. We can use boards off of that, which might be actually longer than the pallets. Alright, so hey, let's go ahead and work on this. I cleaned up the area in the back for all the raspberry bushes that I planted back there, and had all the pallets back there because that's where I staged my wood. So you can see the hardest chore is pulling these screws out. They're stripped. This guy comes out a little bit, then strips out. That guy just spins around. Alright, and it's like that all the way down. And over here, that's what came out on one. It's broken off on another one down there. These are all the new ones that'll be going in. Alright, but definitely using the right kind of drill bit. And it fits into the new ones really nice. And this is the head. It fits into the head of that one really nice. Alright, and once again right there, that's the new one in case I missed it in the video. So there's no play in it. Good drill bit. And I'm going to have to get a crowbar or something to peel this thing up, or pull it up. That's going to be the biggest problem. This is, I think, a 1971 house. It's 2014 now, so this is probably one of the either put in at the same time the house is built or soon after. Okay, and it's going to just be a pill getting it out, but you got to get it out. If you need a saw to get it out, just don't hit another board. Do that, but we got to get it out. Okay, now what I did is use the circular saw to cut in the center. Be careful when you put it down though. Put it down nice and slow. I went too fast and chipped over here. So I'll just patch that up with something like putty or whatever. And then when you get to the edge, of course you're going to have an area there that's because you don't want to cut into your sides. So get a jigsaw and do the rest of the cut. Be careful not to cut into the supporting wood. Did real good over here. Tried using a crowbar to bring it up, and that's what I did over here. I'm not really worried about that, but it just wouldn't work. So now what I could do is take a hammer or something, just push this guy down, and that's going to give me the ability to pull that up and pull the rest of it up. I'm hoping to be able to do that. I might have to drill out the screws in order to get them to free up and doing that. So it's too bad, because that wood looks really nice right there. And this is the part that's lifting up. It just warped up. All right. I had to saw sections. Basically I saw it in between from there to there, as I would have from there to there, and only have the part that's in there to work with. Got a crowbar stuck it underneath and actually pried out all of them, and you'll see that there's some screws left, and I'll have to I'm going to get a Dremel tool out of my garage. So if you have a Dremel tool, that's a good idea to do. Otherwise you'll have to hammer them down. Do something, but it has to be absolutely flat. And on the far end there, from the outside board end, there's a nail or a screw that I'm going to have to actually get out of there too. Now, if you use the rotary saw like I did over there to actually do it, you got to be really careful with the backlash. Don't put your knee in the way, because if it kicks back, and it clips the board, you don't want your knee to be there. Okay, so just be careful of that. And also, I want to show you something else. If you notice on this very end, this is where the part that was curled up. There's no holes whatsoever there, anywhere around there. And on the other side of this, where the screws came through, okay, they came on the angle coming out. That is the tip of the screw. they're not cut off. They're not even reaching all the way down. So they never touched the wood at all. So I'm just wondering about this other guy, if it actually is touching the wood. I might want to just go ahead and drill, put some additional screws in there to make sure that that is actually hitting the beam. Now something else, I have another beam here to work with. Didn't know it was there. It's a cross beam. So I have a screw there, maybe a screw there. The 3 screws that we're going to cross, I'm going to have to just put 2 in, I guess, because I don't want to sit there and put a screw in the same hole that I have done before. So basically, there's supposed to be 3 screws going across. I think you'd go by code, and that's what it is. But I'm not worried about the code here. I'm doing it myself. So that's the beauty of it. So I think I'm going to put my wood halfway mark is going to be right there, and then bring it down because it's going to be 2 different pieces, and that should be working really well. Well, it was a good idea. Actually, I cut it pretty good, but take a look at this. The original deck wood is a lot thicker than the wood I had from recycling. Even if I doubled it up, I think if I doubled it, it would be higher than this wood. So I need to get the wood that is meant for this. Oh man, I was hoping to save some money. That's a 10-foot area. If I got one 10-foot piece, it would fit in there. But because my Jeep's not able to hold a 10-foot piece, so my wheelchair's in there, I had to get it cut down. So a 12-foot piece cut down works just fine. Thought I needed an 8-foot over there. Evidently that's too long, but I still got the part. All about $16.20. Not bad at all. Still, doing this whole work job yourself is a big plus. So I also showed him the piece that had the screws not going all the way through on that piece right there. And he says, "Oh, that's ridiculous. You should be using," no kidding, 3-inch screws. 3-inch screws. And I do have one that came out of this. These are what came out. So it's about a 1/2 inch short. And quite frankly, those guys aren't even that long. About 2 inches is what they were, and not even coming all the way through. All right, I'm going to start from this end down here, and this is the original piece that was there. So what we need to do is make sure that this comes up to about right there. All right, so it fits nicely in there, nice and snug. All right, so that's going to be where my cut line is. I can actually grab a pencil or something and mark that line. But I'll make sure all this is level. Okay, we can bring it back just a little bit so it lines up perfectly on that. All right, and my goal is to have, because we want to be on this, going like this, like all these other pieces are going. So I want my piece to be right there, right across there. But we gotta keep in mind that we got a piece of a screw right there, and we don't want to reuse the screws and definitely clean off the area. All right. We need to take a broom and get all the dust and everything out from in there too. I want to show you something here real quick. We want to aim on a beam. So see right down, I'm going to open up just a little bit for you. There's a beam right there. Look straight down, find out where the center is, set it back down, and mark where the center is. On this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Find the beam in there. It's right there. Find the beams, find the center, and mark the center, and that's where we're going to cut right down the center. So we center on that beam. So when we come from this way, we're sharing the same beam. Oh, that's it. The first one's in, and you can see there's a 1/2 beam there. Now there's something I want to show you, because if you notice the spacing with the rest of the deck, what you could do is take something like a screw. You want the screw head. They're either going to be the threads of the screw or the screw head, distance apart. Okay, so as you can see, I have screws in there, and you can use your old screws too. They're the same thing. All right, if you don't have enough, use your new ones, and get the spacing right before you put the first couple of screws in. Once you get a couple one on this end, one on that end, screwed down, then you can go ahead and take those screws out. Now to find out where you're going to be screwing, okay, if you notice, there's screws going along here and all the way down there. So you just follow that one right down the center, and that's where you're going to put the screws. Now when I put the screw in over here, it did shift. Okay, and because I had a screw that was in here for my spacer, it didn't go right up against the wood. So that's the importance of putting those spacers in. Now, if you did do what I did and cut my one piece in half, because that's what all can fit in my vehicle, then you're going to be doing this. Otherwise, if you have just one piece, you're going to go all the way across. But I need to show you something. The ends here have no spacing. As you see with all these, there's really no spacing around. It's going right up against it. Okay, we have the spacing on the side that we'll be doing, but not over here. If it's really snug, use a sledgehammer, but use another piece of wood on top of it to hammer it down. You don't want to put hammer marks into this wood. Well, I had to trim this a lot on this side to get it to fit. There is a pretty good gap there, but it's no bigger than what's between the wood. So I'm not really worried about this. It's not like somebody's heel, you know, it's going to be caught. Lady's heel is going to be caught in that or something. So, and besides that, there's a beam right there anyway. so it looks like it's going to go in real good. Don't forget your spacers before you start putting the screws in. Just want to point out that a hammer drill works the best to leave it on hammer setting. It actually works really good getting these long screws into the wood. I have one screw there, one screw there, one screw there. Okay, one screw here and two down there. That's going to hold it in place until I get some more screws out of my garage. But basically, this is a done deal. This is how you place a board in your deck that's damaged. I don't need to show you how to do that one over there because it's the same thing as over here. So I'm going to just make a longer video. All right, so make sure you dispose of your wood the right way. Okay, don't burn pressurized wood because it does have some kind of toxin in it. Unfortunately, you can't burn the stuff if you have a wood burning stove or something like that. Outside, I prefer just burning pine or something like that. Just don't burn this stuff. All right, so hope you like the video. Hey, share it and subscribe if you want. Bye.